Hi everyone, I'm Kendall Hathaway. I'm going to be talking about my time as a marketing intern at Harbor Group. Harbor Group Management is a multifamily property management company and they run apartments across the country. Their corporate office is located in Norfolk, Virginia, in this brown building below, and that's where I was located for this internship. I'll discuss some background information first so you can understand why I picked marketing over fashion for my internship this summer. I'm a double major in fashion merchandising and design and marketing. My dream job would be a brand marketing manager or an editorial and runway stylist of a high-end designer fashion company. So I felt like doing this double major was the best option for me so I could have the best opportunities going forward in my career. During the peak of COVID is when I started applying for internships. And first off, there wasn't a lot to pick from, and they were very vague because many companies just didn't know what they were going to do, if they'd even have interns, if it would be online. There was so much in the open, and 90% of the internships I applied for, I didn't even hear back from because they just didn't know what they were going to do. Fashion was even trickier than marketing because it is so team-based, creative-based, doing things in person, feeling the clothes, all of that. So it would be really hard to do something like that in person. So there were very limited options. I even had some background on my resume, such as a sales and backroom associate of a boutique and a brand marketing intern for a reviewing app this past school year. That gave me a great edge to do some things in the different industries I want to work in, but even then, it was really tricky to find something. So I did end up picking marketing, mainly because I went into it and it was one of the only things I could find. So I'm sure you're wondering how a marketing internship could help gain knowledge and experience for the fashion industry. And I was confused on this first, but after doing this internship, I learned there's a lot I gained from it for fashion. First off, this internship pushes my creative boundaries. I did a lot of brand marketing, designing, marketing collateral like floor plan flyers, business cards, website design, social media posts, where I had to create and design all these different formats and platforms. So it really pushed my creative boundaries. And now going into fashion, I'll take what I've learned, but be creative with those ideas and make it into something that's meant for a fashion company instead. Next, it creates a diverse background. This will really help for interviews and entering a different career than what my internship was for. So, all I've heard from the start of my college career is try to put something interesting on your resume because everyone can have good grades, everyone can go to a good school, everyone can have a good background. But if you have something interesting, that's what they're going to want to talk to you about, and that's what they're going to want to focus on and see how you're different from everyone else. So, having a marketing internship versus a fashion one is going to separate me and it's going to be something people will remember in an interview. And if I can fully discuss how that internship actually helped me for fashion, it's going to look great for interviews and resumes. It gives me a very different background. Finally, it gives me a unique outlook on consumer markets. So I was marketing to families, new apartment owners and renters. And in fashion, it's going to be a completely different world of people who are so focused on fashion, especially when I want to work for a high-end designer brand. So having a unique outlook on all different types of people is going to really help me bring a different edge to my team and give a different idea when we're brainstorming on different marketing projects. Now I'm going to show you how my fashion major actually helped me with my marketing internship. You would think that all the things I've learned going into my internship would only be marketing based. That would actually help me. In reality, it was actually 50-50 on what I've learned in fashion and marketing that helped me in this internship. So, first off, here is a magazine article I had to create for one of my fashion classes that was consumer research based. I had to put all the titles together, put in the wordings, add pictures. And over here is something I did quite a lot. It was making marketing flyers when we bought a new property. So I had to come up with the titles, the colors, find the right picture that matches, get sent over the amenities that the company has and list them out in the correct way and word them in the right way, just like I did in this magazine article. In my marketing major, I actually didn't learn any Adobe platform applications, how to use any of them. I only learned that in fashion. So a lot of this brand marketing I was doing for each apartment, I learned all through the design classes in fashion. Next, we have what my favorite project has been so far in fashion, which is a mood board, because it is super stylistic based, exactly what I would do if I got to be an editorial runway stylist. And next to it is a hiring post I had to create. So, it might not look super similar, but I had to use Photoshop and Illustrator for both and cut out pictures and mesh pictures together to make it look nice and put together. In the hiring post, I had to add overlay and titles, just like I've done before in my mood boards. So it was really great to have practice in it before I actually put it to work in my internship. Next, these might look really different, but in fashion, I had to create patterns for the clothing I was making. So this also involved Photoshop and Illustrator, adding the right stripes, adding layering, grouping things together, adding the right colors. And over here, you can see that in the background of this 4th of July post, there's a geometric shaped pattern. I had to create that too, and as you can see, they're both different patterns I've had to make. I had to add a transparent background over it. So you can see it starts dark and gets lighter in the 4th of July post. That's something I learned in pattern making, and placing things over each other. Like you can see the flag goes over the pattern and then the title goes over the flag. All of that I learned when making patterns in my fashion classes. Finally, I used a lot that I learned from flat making. Flat making was probably the hardest thing I've had to do in fashion. As you can see from the shirt right here, I had to create each piece, flip them, and copy them and make sure it looks exactly the same on both sides and it would actually fit someone's body. Over here, I have a happy birthday post I had to create that would be sent out when it was an employee's birthday. You can see I had to make shapes and flip them over and add color to them. So I used the same technique I would use to make a shirt into this card to create the presents and the balloons and the cake. Below is actually a logo on a business card that I designed all by myself. So that involved also creating my own patterns and making sure everything was even and copied over. And then on the business card itself, having the right colors to place over it and being able to change my logo's colors, which I had to do, make a white version, make a blue version to match our company colors. So although it looks super different, I actually learned all of what I had to do for this logo through flat making. Finally, I'm going to tell you guys why I think a double major is a great opportunity. If you're interested in marketing and styling for fashion like me, it is the perfect opportunity to do 2 majors. I really feel like I've gotten a good education from both that are really going to help me. And if I only did one, I would not have benefited or learned as much. It also builds twice the amount of connections. You can go to Business Horizons for marketing and meet all these businesses looking to hire. You can go to the fashion showcase for the fashion major and show off your creative skills you've learned in that. You'll meet twice the amount of professors, meet twice of the amount of speakers coming in to talk to classes, and you can never have enough connections, so it's really great to be able to do both. As again, it gives different creative perspectives. I have this marketing background, and going into my internship, I knew a lot of the basic definitions of different marketing tactics But in fashion, I had this design background that really helped me with brand marketing for my company because I knew how to use all these Adobe applications and be creative with what I've learned in fashion with mood boards and designing clothes. Um, it adds a big edge to a resume and it helps in interviews a lot. Like I said before, most people are just going to have one major. So if you're doing two, it's going to look way better than everyone else and it's going to give you that edge above other people. Finally, it takes advantage of full educational opportunities. Um, I know it's hard to do two majors, it's more classes than usual, but if you're willing to put in that work and you want to get the best education you possibly can, then this is the best opportunity. You know, I paid the same amount as everyone else to learn twice as much and take two different majors and be able to use them together is such a great opportunity. Thank you so much for listening. Again, I'm Kendall Hathaway. Here's my email if you ever want to reach out and ask me any questions about marketing or that internship or double majoring. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you.